this one here, and we'll go to our website, and we'll go to okay. Again, it's online already, so don't write anything. And it is on the website, and I logged onto the website. Okay, so we go back to the same thing we discussed last time. The 19th prime of the type P1 times P2 minus 2, and I explained that. The 19th prime of the form P equal to P1 times P2 minus 2 is 167, okay? And 167 lucky prime happens to be 7069, and 7069 happens to be the 446 Pythagorean prime, and 446 is 359th composite, and 359 is the 19th Emirp. That means if you write this one backwards, you're going to get another prime for you. Okay? So the underlines we didn't know last week, so God has revealed this connection to us again. So we go through this thing another way, and now we're going to go back and we see where we're going to end up. And its Emirp is 953, and 9, which is the initial composite, 1143, and 1143 is 9 times 127. Okay? So we came from this 19 prime of this form, P1 times P2 minus 2, and we got 29127. 446 composite happens to be 548, and 548 additive prime is 9127. Okay? And last week I talked about this, and I want to just go ahead and refer to last week a little bit. You see this 2179? If you write the permutation of 1279, okay? 1279 obviously the first permutation. Then after that is 1297, and you just go on. When you get to 2179, okay, that happens to be the 7th permutation. Okay? And the 19th permutation of 2179 is actually 9127. Okay, so we knew this last week, okay? But you see now how it falls into place. Why 7? Okay? Why 2179 happens to be the 167th, which happens to be the happens to be the 2179 happens to be the 7th permutation. Okay, so we'll go back in here, and as you see here, this led us to 359. Okay, today from 7069 we were led to 359. And if you go to 359, chapter 3, verse 59, it's the very famous verse in the Quran that wants to rebuke the notion that Jesus was somehow Son of God. And God is telling us that the allegory of Jesus, as far as God is concerned, is just like Adam. He created from clay and said to it be, and it became. Okay? So, you see that in that verse, the word Jesus and Adam has been mentioned in the same verse. That happens to be actually the 7th, okay, the 7th frequency of the word Jesus and word Adam in the Quran. Okay? And if you go to chapter 19, then you notice that it happens to be actually the 19th is there. But we just saw that the 19th, Genesis 9:1-7. In chapter 19, the word Adam and the word Jesus has been only mentioned once. Okay? Jesus has been mentioned in chapter 19, verse 74, verse 34, and Adam has been mentioned in 1958. Okay? And in that one, if you add those two verses, the verse numbers, which is 58 and 34, okay, you are going to get 92. And if you go to chapter 19, verse 92, God says it's not befitting for God to have a son. Actually, he says for the all-gracious to have a son. Okay? And that Ar-Rahman, which is used in that verse, happens to be the 19th frequency of Ar-Rahman in the Quran. But now, there is 92 there. 92 happens to be the numerical word Muhammad. Muhammad came and told these two groups of people that this is the case. Okay. This is a sign that God showed to mankind. That's how Jesus was created. Okay. That somehow the biological thing of male chromosome, the Y chromosome, and the X chromosome get together and create a man did not have to be there, neither for Adam nor for him. That was a sign that God showed. Okay? So now you see why 2179 somehow sticks out in there, because it's the seventh one. And now it wants to tell us, look, this is what it is. And then at that time, just mention this and give credit when what credit is due, okay? I want to mention this, and I'm very serious about this. You learn something from somebody, you got to mention that person. God does that all the time. Okay? He gives credit to people where credit is due. Okay? God is the one who does everything, but he gives credit. Okay? That's what he says. He says in the Quran, that's why I give credit to people. Okay? So, without further ado, that was we had this thing, okay, with I don't remember when it was actually happened. Let's see. It was the argument that went. Yeah, I can remember. Okay. Okay. Okay, very good. Okay, let's see here. Okay, but anyway, so we know why it's 2197 instead of something else. Okay, so that's how this whole thing measures. And as you see, 2197 happens to the 195th regular prime, and that takes us to this initials in chapter 19, as we discussed last week. Okay, so that is the idea. Okay, the idea is that this is how God has designed the Quran, and as I said, we have to be grateful and appreciative of this fact, and so we have to make sure that we understand. Oh, okay. Now, I remember now. Okay, so what happened was 20. The seventh frequency happens to be in 359, and as we saw, the 359 actually generates 9127. Okay, and it was when was it? It was 2 years ago or something. Yeah, I think a couple of years ago. So Aziz, what he did was he went and counted the number of frequencies of the word Jesus and Adam from the back of the Quran. And then 7 becomes the 19th from the back of the book, from the back of the Quran. That's what happens. Okay? Okay? So that's what as I said, that's why you have these connections in the Quran, and these connections are based on these numbers that we see every week. And as I said, we are eternally grateful to God for giving us this information. This information is absolutely priceless. Okay, I don't know what else to say. Okay. Okay. So anyway. Okay, very good. Okay, so we're finished now with this with these 2 rakats, and we'll finish our Jum'ah.